Hello. Today's topic is about handling criticism, dealing with criticism. Criticism is when people say, well, maybe bad things, but you do something and people look at it and say, oh, I don't like it, or I do like it. And sometimes it can be difficult. It sometimes can feel quite personal. For example, if I make a painting and somebody says, "Oh, I don't like that. That's ugly. You've made a terrible mistake." Blah, 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 blah. Well, I probably will not feel very good. The worst thing is if you get criticized and you think, "Oh, maybe I'm no good. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do any art," and that would be a mistake. So dealing with criticism can be difficult. I was thinking about it particularly because at the moment there's the Olympics, and um, I think I talked in one of the classes last week about the Olympics, and some athletes have been criticised online for making mistakes or not winning a gold, or in fact, some people who won a gold. I think some Japanese team members won gold, and they were criticised by Chinese fans. Uh, you know, um, it's easier and easier now because of social media. Everybody has an opinion, and they can express it, and they can tell you their opinion. And you do anything that makes you a little bit famous, and suddenly you'll have 1,000 people complaining. Hopefully, some people will say nice things too, but we naturally don't like criticism, I think. So that's like social media and Olympics. But anytime we make anything or do anything, there's a possibility of being criticized. And I just wanted to give some advice on how to deal with that. And I've got 4 points. Let me zoom in. This is very small. Sorry. Let me zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Okay. The first point, number one, criticizing is a lot easier than doing or making something. If I do a painting, you may hate it, but okay, you hate it, you make one then. Make a better one then. And suddenly, oh, that's kind of difficult. There's a saying, apparently, there's a Chilean saying from Chile that says, criticizing a musician is a lot harder when you have a guitar in your hand. I guess that means, it's easy to criticize, but okay, you do better. I don't know how to play. So, okay, so why are you criticizing what I'm doing? So that's the first point. It's easy to criticize, but it's hard to do. Hard to do the thing, hard to make the art. Number two, some criticism is inevitable. Inevitable means you cannot avoid. It will happen. If you make a song, some people will like it and some people will hate it. You cannot avoid that. People have a right to an opinion. But just to remember that I've got a quote here. It says, you can either be judged by what you create or keep it to yourself and be ignored. So if you've got a great story that you want to tell, you can write it down and tell the world. Some people will hate it and they will complain. Some people might love it. But you'll get criticism. The only way to avoid being criticized is don't tell anybody. Keep everything you do a secret. But why would you want to do that? You would be suffering just because you're not able to deal with criticism. Now, okay, number three, some criticism helps you improve, and accept that. Some is just angry or wrong, try and ignore that. So whenever you're criticized, you have to judge, well, is that person telling me something that's true? Like, I don't know, oh, Japan, you shouldn't have won the gold medal. It's not fair. Is that true? No, it's not true. So, okay, ignore that. If somebody's criticizing you, ignore that. But if I draw a painting and somebody says, you were a little bit messy there, you didn't color in very well, it could be much better. I might think, maybe that criticism is true. So you have to judge, are they telling me something that's true or are they just being angry? If they're just being angry, ignore it. But sometimes it's useful advice. That's how we learn. And the final point, number four, try to remember if someone doesn't like your artwork or criticizes your performance, it doesn't mean they don't like you, maybe. The point is, there's a difference between what you do and who you are two different things. I do bad paintings. I do bad paintings, but that doesn't, you might hate my paintings, but you can still like me. Or the opposite, you might hate me, but love my paintings. That what we do and who we are two different things. And sometimes we confuse, but try to remember that they are two different things. You can hate my paintings, but still like me. Okay, so that's my advice on criticizing and criticism. So I've got 3 questions here. Number 1, are you good at handling criticism? Can you deal with criticism, or do you get very shy? Case by case for me. What advice do you have for dealing with criticism? Are these good ideas? Is there anything that you like to do if you do something and get criticized by a teacher or a parent? And finally, number 3, do you ever have to give criticism? How do you do it? Oops, that's a spelling mistake there. How do you do it? Sometimes people will say, "Oh, what do you think about this?" And you have to give your opinion. You know, "Oh, do you like my t-shirt?" "Oh, should I criticize? Should I tell the truth?" It is difficult to give criticism without hurting somebody's feelings, but sometimes it's necessary. If they say, "Well, actually, that t-shirt doesn't suit you. You look better in pink, not green." "Oh, okay." So there we are. There's 3 questions. So I have to have a think about criticism and try and think about some examples in your life, and we can talk about it when I see you next. Okay. Thank you very much. Let me turn this off. See you soon.